are the men in black.
You know, it took me a couple of years to put together like the song they sampled that from.
Really?
Yeah, you know, Forget Me Not.
Forget me.
And they used the neuralizer to make people forget. I was like, oh, all right, okay, all right, I get it.
Each one of those logos on those shirts at dtmerch.com, I drew myself by hand.
By hand, on each shirt.
I drew all of these by hand, man.
Every
In fact,
single shirt is an original.
you know what, Martin? You see that black teeth, the classic black teeth, the white logo? Man, you know what? The white logo is actually the shirt. I had to color that whole shirt black with a Sharpie, man. Go over to doubletoasted.com and subscribe or donate. Oh, Martin, look at this. Tonight they're going to be reviewing Man in Black.
Oh, good.
International.
Oh, I'm going to watch that.
Yeah, I have to get out of here, man, so I can go watch this. I like the way you seal clap.
Well, I would have done it here, but the mic was right there.
I got you. They ain't got Big Willie. They ain't got Big Tommy. Oh, mad ass Tommy. Those are my boys over there. That's the problem. Those were your boys. We need to bring some vaginas up in here, man. This is the old sexist ass Man in Black. As I told you, Martin, we can't say it. We are persons of black.
I know.
And
it's only a matter of time.
Yeah. And by the way, why do I always got to be in America, Mark? You know, there's people of blackness.
That's right. Aliens
all
come
around,
from all over.
All over. When we gonna hear that side of the story, they heard our complaints and they said, you know what? Not only we gonna bring these females up in here, at least one, but we gonna go international with it, and that's what's happening here. Tessa Thompson is a new. Well, I started to say Man in Black, but Woman in Black this time around. Gonna be Chris Hemsworth's partner again. You know, together again for the first time.
Two of them are inseparable.
Yeah. When Chris Hemsworth, his partner, Liam Neeson, gets, I guess he's now promoted to being head of the MIB agency. Chris Hemsworth, he's kind of gone solo dolo with his missions out there. Don't need nobody. He's kind of James Bond, the agency. Can't be these alien chicks when I got another chick on my ass right here telling me not to be sexist. But that's about to change when Tessa Thompson, who somehow, some way, has the smarts, the intelligence to not just talk her way into the organization, but practically break in. And it's just like hackers, man. When you break in, it's like, well, shit, we can't put you in jail.
Well, not you here.
Not you know everything. Can't put you away. We got to hire you. And that's what they're going to do with her. They're going to hire her. And as we said, aliens are invading from all around the world in every nook and cranny. And she's sent over to London where they need a few good women to help keep things under control. Can they really pull this off without our boys up in there? You know, it was at least getting by with Big Willie, man. Can it still keep the same charm without his wise cracking ass up in there? Let's go. You know, he can't do it forever.
That's true. You know, he stuck around for 3.
Tommy Lee Jones, he said, "F this, I'm not coming back." Silly ass movies.
He spent the last 2 movies trying to get out of it.
I want to be in this silly ass shit.
Somebody tell you could quit.
Yeah. Need some new blood. And also, the popular thing to do these days is to do a reboot, which is what they hope to do with this and start a whole new franchise.
That was an incredible catch.
Brother, you ain't gonna ever get away from Thor if you keep doing that shit.
I know.
Now you trying to break away from that now. You need to quit.
Just stay away from hammers.
Yeah. Shit, you could have picked up another tool or something. I'm not a huge fan of the first film. That's not to say I don't like it. I do like it. I know it's a wild success. I mean, it's not like one of my favorite movies. It's not one of my go-tos. But the first movie, I do like.
I want to get some coffee. You want some coffee?
No, thank you. I'm fine.
How you doing, fellas? You guys get along all right? All right, I'm in.
So that was a movie that I didn't think was great, but a lot of people did. And I will say that it was a lot of fun.
Well, I won't say it's certainly not perfect. It's very rewatchable, and it was original.
Yes, it was. That's what I was going to say. You know, if nothing else, has a great idea. And I think you were the one that even told me, I had read it, that it's based off of a comic book. Oh, yeah,
it's based off of a comic book.
Yeah, 1991 is when it came out, the first issue.
Right,
so
right.
It's got a great idea. I like Will Smith. A lot of people love Will Smith, but Tommy Lee Jones, I just thought he was a guy who just wouldn't tolerate that shit. Tommy Lee Jones, just an angry man. Tommy Lee Jones got mad at cartoon characters. You remember the time he was at the Oscars and got mad just because Beavis and Butthead were in the room? Don't get off the stage right now. He didn't have no patience with that at all.
I got dressed up for this.
Yeah. This silly shit.
Those two morons.
I always used to think that if Tommy Lee Jones ever ran to Will Smith, he choked the shit out of him. Those guys are the ones that kept it going. I mean, how many times can you do a neutralizing joke before the shit gets stale? But somehow their personalities always made it work.
Flacco, you know you're not supposed to be north of Canal Street.
Who is Flacco? They're looking for me.
Crazy, right? Two grown men talking to the wall. Hey, don't even worry about it.
Boy, they freaked that poor Mexican out. Like, damn, this shit's already kicking in. It's like the spray paint fumes getting to it. Now that those two are gone, look, I ain't saying you couldn't get somebody else, but in the instance that we have here, you ain't got nothing. There was a part in the movie where they showed a painting of Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, and I just like, you know what, just pause it there for about an hour. You know, because the movie ain't got shit else going on, man. I am sorry. I know this is beloved to a lot of people, even with the bad movies out there, but I'm gonna come out the gate telling you, I just did not like this movie.
It looks really slick. I mean, it's not it's change of directors and producers and all, and it still looks like a Men in Black movie. Not just looks like a Men in Black movie, but it looks like an updated Men in Black movie. Personality-wise, a lot of it falls on the shoulders of Chris Hemsworth, and I think he's fine. I think he's funny. He's charming. The problem is, it's all on him, and they don't really give him much.
I agree with you.
Because the partnership with him and Tessa Thompson, like her character, she's just kind of slight and a little bit annoying. And when they put them together, there's not a lot of them playing off of each other like you think there would be after seeing them in a few Marvel movies.
Yeah. I see.
And with the background and the main story, you're kind of like, this is just kind of nothing.
Yeah, I see. That's what I'm saying, man. While the presence of Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith is definitely missed, that shouldn't matter, man, because this idea that they have here, it should be bigger than them. This whole idea of a CIA organization meant just for aliens. There's so much material to be mined from that. What they keep doing with these movies, and it's gone downhill since the first one. They keep doing, and with this one especially, is that you can blatantly see how this was made to meet the studio requirements for a blockbuster.
Oh, this movie, it's so by the numbers and it's so safe. It kept reminding me of Kingsman 2, except a very safe version of that. You know what? That's a great example.
Really can't embrace its potential and its weirdness because the studios keep requiring that you need this to sell this to this demographic right here. And the only place that it really takes advantage of its weird possibilities is its creature design, which they do a lot here, even though they show you the same creatures they've been showing you throughout the series, but they got a lot more variety in there. The creature designs can always be a lot of fun in this series here. And I'm gonna tell you, man, going international, that should have been very interesting. That should have been the thing that really took this to a brand new area.
Right.
Because the main place, when they say they're going international, they're going over to London. And you can see here, of course, when they ain't gonna go someplace where they gotta have subtitles for the rest of the goddamn movie, so they're gonna go someplace they speak in English. Pip, pip, and cheerio, bitch. But they, with this, it would have been cool to see. Now, again, here I go in my own area of what I would have liked to have seen, the kind of movie I would have made. But, I mean, just think about it, because it's the setups right there. You have in studios, they're doing this. We want to start having more strong female characters.
Right.
We want to start actually, even in our mainstream movies, we want to start reanalyzing how some of these characters in some of these movies might have been, outdated and kind of sexist back in the day. But hey, it's cool. We're going through and making amends right now. I thought it would have been cool. How about she goes over to the Man in Black organization in London, and it is a MI6 version of that with aliens.
Yeah.
And you have Chris Hemsworth here, who is a complete sexist asshole, man. And she has to go through and call him on his bullshit all the time.
Yeah.
You know, because in the movie he is kind of dumb in a way. You know, and that's what they're trying to get by on. Oh, isn't he hot? You know, and then isn't he funny in a goofy but charming and hot kind of way? You know, Tessa Thompson, I thought it would have been cool with her putting him in his place. But they don't really take advantage.
Well, they do this thing where it's like, hey, we're getting a female in here who's smarter, but when they brought Will Smith in, you remember how he got recruited because he was kind of a super cop.
Yeah.
And they were like, man, you got some skills. And with her, it's not so much you got skills, you're just somebody who's been a groupie of this organization.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when she gets there, she's all like, huh? What's going on? What do I do?
Yeah.
Can I pull this? And you're like,
yeah,
okay. I want a strong female too. I just don't want her to be somebody who's plugged in just for that reason.
I don't think they really take advantage of the premise of going to London.
They really don't.
Yeah,
Other than to show that Ferris wheel every chance they get.
That Eye of London, man, which everybody shows. It's a Ferris wheel. It's a goddamn Ferris wheel, man. Just because it's got a British accent don't make it any different. When they go to London, what do they do different? Not a goddamn thing.
I kept forgetting that it was in London.
When they go there, they do what they do in every one of these movies. They walk around the office and watch these funny ass creatures go by in the background, crawling, flying, walking crazy. When they're not neutralizing people, which is a running gag itself, and they don't really do anything too much different with that. They go to the street and they talk to people that look like humans, but then you find out they got alien duck feet or they got talking facial hair
And everything on it. Yeah, man.
I got to, but that beard did get me, man.
It got me too.
When that beard come out, like shit. That's the place that, and they still don't go as far with it as I think that they could.
No.
But that's why I say the creature stuff is some of the most interesting things going on because that's when they can embrace their weirdness, which I don't think they do enough. The other reason for them going international is just so they can bring in a certain act. Now, I don't know for sure, but I wouldn't doubt it if they went international because they want to bring in a very hot actor right now. When I say hot, I'm talking about business-wise. And I wouldn't doubt if they were doing this just because they want to bring in Chris Hemsworth and lock him in and then have an excuse for his accent.
Sure.
You know, because really they don't want him to I'm sure he could probably do what sounds like an American accent, but that British accent, it's already been his trademark from Thor.
He works as a James Bond type character. It's just, okay, you got this part locked down. Now build the rest around it.
Yeah.
And don't leave him hanging.
Yeah, and I guess maybe they get to go shoot some nice places, like they're out in the desert, and they're going to Morocco, whatever.
Yeah, to the coast and all.
Yeah, so they get to go to some cool locations, but again, it doesn't feel like they're really taking advantage of that.
No, everywhere they go to Morocco, and they don't connect with the Morocco base of the MIB.
The whole place is just one giant extra. You know, none of those people are characters at all. It is so scattered all over the place. That's what we're talking about. You can feel. That's why I thought it was great what you said. You can feel the thumb of the studio all on this, man. So you feel the heel of the boot on this movie's neck because the story is so scattered all over the place that with this you can feel the back and forth of the script changes, man.
Yeah,
you can feel where when back and forth and the studio was saying change this, change that. That's not going to work. Add more of this. Pull back on this. The kids will love this. You can feel it as you're watching the movie.
Well, have you noticed that there's this thing that's been happening with these blockbusters, these studio-led blockbusters? I noticed it here, noticed it in Godzilla. We talked about it in Dark Phoenix and something else, where the pace, the pace of movies has gotten much faster than they were in the 80s or 70s, but they've just jumped like a couple gears now, where everything is moving so fast that there's no resting and really filling a scene and developing a scene. It's always just move to the next thing, move to the next thing, move to the next thing.
And the detriment of that to the movie is that they are moving so fast and the script writing changes are so rapid, they don't even follow their rules anymore. So the big thing with the men in black, people in black, whatever you want to say, is that we would never hear. You never saw us doing any of this crazy shit.
Right.
And yet in this movie, everyone sees them on this futuristic alien motorcycle or jet ski or whatever it is, and everybody sees them And for some reason, they decide to just stop and just neutralize a corner of people before they go zipping right back into it.
If we could all just look right here.
Just try.
Okay, that's cool, but what about the rest of the city that saw you doing this shit? Yeah. You didn't neutralize all of them, and they didn't even try to like give an explanation, you know. And I don't know, you know, shit. Maybe all these people were maybe all these folks over here were the neighborhood snitches or something, you know. I don't know. I know y'all gonna tell. Especially this man with his eye. He can't even look at he can't even look us in the eye. He gotta look at the camera.
I'm not getting neuralized.
He know he gonna keep this shit to himself. Nobody is here to look at the fine details. People just here to have fun.
Yeah.
You know, people are here to we here to look at our eye candy, whether it's Tessa Thompson or Chris Hemsworth. And you know what? The biggest thing, man, I finally got my Thor and my Valkyrie buddy film.
That solo movie.
Yeah, exactly. I got my Thor and Valkyrie spinoff movie. And if that's what y'all want, then you better go watch Thor Ragnarok again. Because what you got here is no chemistry with these two.
Yeah, that was the surprising thing.
Yeah,
because I think that's a lot of what's selling this. When you watch the trailers, it's like, hey, man, all I know is the two of them together. I can't wait to see how that's going to work out. Yeah, not like you think.
I know it sounds like, again, that we just starting to hate, but just hear us, y'all. Just hear us for a moment here, because really, as wacky as the antics are between these two, you would think that they went through so much crazy stuff in this film that they would have no choice but to have some great interaction with each other. And it just ain't happening, because you actually said it, Martin. And I'm just gonna like expand on that for you. You got Chris Hemsworth in here, who he's cracking jokes, man. You know, he's doing He's doing what people love him for as Thor. You know, he's cracking jokes to the whole thing. It's charming. It's even funny sometimes. sometimes. And also, I got to give it to you, man. When they say that he's kind of like a James Bond chick, a James Bond kind of guy. I like that they actually pushed that in a certain area. Like they showed him like just alien girls, man.
Yeah, it's like if you mix James Bond with Captain Kirk.
Yeah, you read, yeah. Or just James Bond. He's like, I'll thing. Put some titties on that tin can right there. I'm at it, man. With him cracking all the jokes and everything, it would work, but it's very one-sided.
Yeah, it's so one-sided.
It's because in the movie, it's not that Tessa Thompson is bad. It's just that her character, there's nothing to her, man. That he's bouncing. He's trying to riff. He's bouncing stuff off of her, and she gives him nothing. She is uninteresting,
right?
Man.
He's throwing it right to her, and every time it's just bouncing off her glove.
She is just not an interesting character. The moment they set her up, they rush her into the movie so fast. Her backstory is not really a backstory. Her backstory is an excuse to just get her in the film. Yep. She's still in the dressing room. They're like, they need you out right now. Wait a minute, I'm still going to my line.
Is this a scene where I tell my story? We're past all that. Just get out there. You're a member now.
Yeah.
I love these strong female characters in movies, but I'm like, God damn it, make them strong.
Make them strong. And she is forced into the movie so fast and so awkwardly that even her before the Tessa Thompson in the movie, they her story up as a little girl.
I know.
It doesn't even make any sense. They ain't neutralizing people everywhere, and when you watch the scene with her as a little girl, they just suck at their job, man. They ain't doing what they supposed to do.
You erased my parents' memories, but you didn't get mine.
Well, why not?
I know.
they neutralized her parents. And they asked the parents, "Is there anybody else in the house?" And the parents say, "Yeah, we have a daughter that's upstairs." Do they go upstairs and look at her? No.
Yeah, she's upstairs. She's probably asleep.
Yeah.
Well, you go check it out.
Check on her then. You see what happens when you don't. She breaking into your shit.
And the funny thing is, all her backstory is just to set up a plot twist.
A MacGuffin.
Way down the line that you could see from flying overhead in an airplane.
I'm just gonna tell y'all, the moment y'all see something else blue in this movie, you know exactly what.
You're gonna pull your popcorn out. You'll be like, God damn it.
You have another reason, I guess, for having a London branch is so you can get people in here, which doesn't make any difference. Like Liam Neeson and Emma Thompson. Liam Neeson, I'm gonna tell you, man, he don't really have nothing to do in here, but at least he plays a role at some point in here. Emma Thompson just here to pick up her check.
Yeah.
And just go. And she has 2 walk-ons in this movie. And I'm serious. She walks on and off. She's got about 5 lines to say, and she's gone.
Yep.
This shit is so easy. I'm serious. Like I said, man, he must have got her because she was already in the area.
Right.
She must have been picking up her dry cleaner next door or something. These 2, okay. That's fine, man. They're walk-ons and they're not really playing a big role here. They're just there to like add support to some of the younger characters. But the villains, that is the weirdest casting in this movie, man. The villains, let me tell you something. The villains in this, they got no personality. The biggest thing about their characters is that they're cold-blooded murderers. And when they do,
I thought you were gonna say dancers.
Well, I'll get to that. No, they're cold-blooded murderers, man. And when they do, this is one thing I gotta say, they people up, boy.
They do.
And and it's one of those things where it's another horribly gruesome death. You're like, damn, was this supposed to be in the same film? It's like Shazam.
Yeah.
It's like this ain't even supposed to be the same movie, man. They melt people in a horror and they do it slow so you see it.
And the camera just stays on it.
Yeah. They melted somebody's face and I was just like, God damn, I remember that was reserved for rated R films right there. But even though they are horrible, gruesome murderers, when they're not doing that, they just want to dance.
Turn on the beat.
They got the moves for you. And you're confused because it's like, okay, why does the movie stop to give these aliens who had nothing to do with dancing a dance number? I'm not bull. You ask me how crazy this movie is. Yeah. Like seriously, they stopped to give them like a 5-second dance number, man. Now it would be different if dancing had something to do with the aliens' character. They set it up, but no. What happened was it's the other way around. Since they hired dancers, they tailored the aliens around them. These are 2 guys, French. Their French dancers called Les Twins.
I was like, man, everything from the 90s comes back. Even Milli Vanilli.
Girl, you know it's girl, you know. And like Milli Vanilli, they were aliens also. But they're great dancers. Don't get me wrong, man.
Yeah, they are.
No, these guys
it's
are
impressive. I actually wanted to keep going.
Yeah, no, they're amazing, man. You should go online and look at some of the dances. Like I don't mind them working that. It's a silly, fun movie, but you can tell that had nothing to do. They just did it because maybe because they're they're up and coming, they're rising. F. Gary Gray, who's the director, who's coming off of what was it? Was it Fast and Furious? Fate of the Furious. That was his last one.
Yeah.
And before that, it was Straight Outta Compton.
Oh, right.
So, yeah, the only thing I can think of is that he just liked these guys.
Like them, yeah.
And just decided to put them in the
movie.
movie.
Guys in here, yeah.
And just tailored the aliens around them, which doesn't make any sense because those aliens, they don't even come back to dancing later.
No.
They are these guys. They just walk around with glowing eyes and shit. But it's like, all right, This thing is just all over the place, man. One of the things that I thought I would hate in this movie is a thing that at least he had the most character and it kind of captured the spirit of what I thought the movie should have and could have been. Your boy Pawnee, the little character manufactured to sell toys.
I pledge loyalty eternal to you.
No, I'm not interested.
Too late. I already pledged the loyalty. I wish you'd said no before.
Because that's Kumail Nanjiani.
Yeah.
Who does, y'all know.
Yeah,
y'all
it's
know
pretty
him.
obvious to tell it's him the whole
Yeah. And that's the thing.
I'm sure he's ad-libbing a bunch of it.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know what it was. Like, man, look, this little son of a bitch is just meant to he's there strictly for the kids. He's something for the kids to kind of like, after they done scared their ass of that melting of people and everything. And then I think, because you see them all in the advertising now and everything on the posters. And plus, I think they might be trying to get a toy out of this.
That was the thing about his character the whole time. I was like, You're only here to sell something.
He had nothing else to do with
you could be surgically taken out of this movie and it wouldn't affect anything whatsoever. But there's a 30% where I was like, all right, that was kind of funny.
No, there was some things that like the stuff that when Kumail Nanjiani was able to do to make it fun, like you said, ad lib or something, that was fine. All the other shit that they manufactured for him, I was like, somebody step on his ass.
I know.
I'm not one to like kind of bring in new ratings or invent new ratings for the sake of, trying to, spice up the show or add more to it or anything like that. No, I'm not doing that. But I feel like with this, I need to start making a new rating. There's an area here that just needs to be, because Rotten Tomatoes ask us about this all the time. It needs to be split up into subcategories.
Oh,
and
okay.
it is the rental area, because I want to so much give this movie some more bullshit. And it really is kind of close to some more bullshit with me. And looking at it, like you said, it's slick. It does have some things in there for people who are not looking as hard as me. They have some things in there that remain from the series if you've been keeping up with the series and still enjoy it. I do think it has an air of fun to it, even though these guys aren't getting along. Chris Hemsworth is still kind of fun to look at. I wish he was just given more to do and they gave him enough material to work off this Tessa Thompson with.
Yeah, it's his material because his delivery on everything I think is spot on.
Yeah,
but just when you stop to go like, yeah, but what they just give him to say?
Yeah. And so I realize that sometimes we give things a rental, and sometimes there'll be a good rental. Like when we reviewed that movie Late Night last night.
Yeah.
We say, hey, it's a good rental. You should watch it. It's okay. It's not worth going to the theater for. This is something where, again, the only way I can sum it up, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I'll try to make this my rating now. I have seen much worse that does not carry it over. I've seen truly bad movies. I make a habit out of watching bad movies, which is why I don't feel comfortable just going to straight bullshit, which it is to me, like I said. But there are things here that I don't want to cross it there, but it is a bad rental. And what I mean by bad rental is that it really is just on for noise. And just you'll see some things that you kind of like here and there. You might see something that's fun when it's not in context of the whole film. If you're watching it on TV, because that's what I'm thinking. I could probably see parts of this, small chunks here and there, where I'd be like, okay, that was amusing, that was funny, that's fun to watch right there. But as a whole, it's bad. But in spots, I can be entertained if I'm not in the context of a theater, or I had to sit there and forcibly watch this. It is a bad rental just because there's nothing that really garners my attention the whole time. And it definitely doesn't work as a whole or as a story. So yeah. So you got your good rental. See it. Just don't rush to the theater. Just a rental. Take it or leave it. And then you got a bad rental, which is, it's not good, but I don't think you're going to be annoyed if you don't have to forcibly sit there and watch it the whole time. It's not good at all.
When it's done, it's like, well, I just saw something on a screen.
Yeah.
I have no feelings about it.
You really don't. You're not even mad.
Yeah,
You just kind of like
even mad.
that.
Yeah. Like, you just see it. I feel like they neuralized me when I walked out because I can't really remember it all that well. The thing is, like I said, I really like that first Men in Black, and I feel like they went downhill with each one successively after that, and leading to this one, which would lead me to the conclusion to think, well, man, I guess there was only enough for that one movie. There's enough story for that. But they go, wait a minute, they did that animated series, which I thought, no way. And I used to watch that religiously on Saturday mornings because they had really good stories, really good writing on that show, which just proved that, like, nah, man, there's a lot of material here to mine. You just have to get in there and do it. It is just a flatline rental. Like, yeah, I just have no enthusiasm for this. But if it was on TV, it would catch my eye. I'd probably watch. Yeah. If you caught the right clip, you'd probably sit down and watch the rest of it, and you'd finish it, but then go, yeah, I kind of wasted my time. I could have been doing something else. You won't be locked into it.
This is so by the studio numbers that I really wish this would go off. I'm really just waiting for this to end right now. I sat up there. I had my laptop with I just had my elbows on my laptop bag, just sitting like this, just like, hurry up. I remember that the animated series when it was on. I didn't watch it religiously like you did, but I do know that it was it was like the real Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Where when Ghostbusters 2 came out and they that completely up, I was like, why are these cartoon characters doing a better job than you? I do remember I used to love the opening, man, because the opening was kind of like and honestly, man, what I remember is the opening. This show was kind of riding off the success of the real Ghostbusters. The opening was even kind of like
well, that was even something people said about the first Men in Black movie, how it was sort of the new Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
it was kind of in that same vein.
Well, this right here, this kind of almost mimicked the opening of the opening of the Man in Black series. Kind of mimicked the opening of the real Ghostbusters.
Really?
Well, they working them shoulders, ain't they? What was your man doing right there? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our main site, doubletoasted.com, where you'll find the long-form version of this video, uncensored, unedited, and also the live streams that we do almost every night of the week. Support us at dtmerch.com. And remember to always stay toasty.